welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Matt. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to take a look at the Vaporesso Polar kit. Now, this is a mod and tank combo that has been out for about a month now, but I feel like it's in that class-leading category when it comes to dual 18650 mods, so it's still definitely worth taking a look at. Competes well with mods like the Proton, the Aegis, some of the other popular ones that came out this year. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Here is your packaging. Now inside the package, you pull this guy up. You're gonna have your mod, the Cascade Baby SE tank, an extra coil head, and then on the other side, you have one of these nice braided charging / upgrade cables, and then a warranty card. And this one didn't come with a manual, but I'm assuming the production version does. So now we've already taken a look at the Cascade Baby multiple times now on this channel, so I'm not gonna really dive too deep into it. This is the SE Special Edition. Basically, it comes with this colored glass that matches your mod. No extra piece of glass though, unfortunately. And also this does come with a mesh coil, which we are going to install this coil and take the coil out that's in here. Here's the one pre-installed, 0.15 ohms, 50 to 110 watts. Unfortunately, it doesn't say the material. And here's the mesh, pretty standard. We've seen this one before. Let's go ahead and screw it in, prime it up. And just remember, like I said in the, I think it was armor video, if you crank on this too tight, you could unthread this piece because that piece is reverse threaded. So always keep that in mind and be careful when you're putting it all together. To fill, you look for that little arrow, pull up, slide out. And there we go. Okay, so here is the Polar. You're looking at 90 millimeters tall, about 45 millimeters wide. That platform there can handle up to a 25 millimeter Addy without any overhang. Once you get bigger than that, you are going to see it overhang slightly on the edges there. And then you do have these nice big beveled edges on the sides there, and that makes it easy and comfortable to hold. 510 pin, gold plated, spring loaded. Buttons on this one side, nothing on the other. Really nice big button, and it has just a little bit of texture on it too, which I really like. No play or anything on that. Big old screen right here, charge port down here. This has 2.5 amp charging, so it's going to charge pretty fast. Left button, right button, and then that great mode button that Vaporesso has on their mods for the Omniboards. This has the Omniboard 4.0, like the Armor mod that I reviewed recently. You got some venting on the bottom there. On the back, you get this design. Now these panels feel to be zinc alloy, but then the frame here in the center is plastic. Okay, so it's pretty lightweight mod, mix of metal and plastic. You got metal, metal, and then plastic around the middle. Now to get into the battery compartment, there's a little slot right there. Pulls right off. Big magnet on one side, 2 magnets on the other. Gives you a battery caution. Do not use battery with broken skin, which is great. Also, this sticker here will protect from those batteries if you were to accidentally use them with a broken skin from shorting out on the metal here. It does say please use high rate discharge batteries, 35 amps. None of the batteries out there really do 35 amps consistently, but your normal high amp batteries, the Samsung ones, these Ohm Life ones that I use a lot, the Ohm Work ones, will work just fine. Now in the battery compartment, it obviously does run in series. Spring-loaded contacts up top here, and then you have the battery orientation marked. So positive goes up on this side, negative goes up on this side, and then no ribbon, but they're very easy to get out because part of the battery is exposed. So you want to get these out, you just pull like that. Let's put the door on. Just a little bit of rocking back and forth when you go up, down, and just a hair side to side as well. So there's your screen. Definitely a lot brighter than on their Armor kit. You have this screensaver that it will switch over to that shows your clock, your date, day, little Vaporesso logo. Now to turn it on and off, it's 5 clicks. There's your boot up. And there is your home screen. Very, very nice and colorful. You got the battery bars up here. It shows us that we're on variable wattage normal mode right now. Has your wattage. Has that automatic mode, which I'll explain here in a second. We'll turn that off also. Let's go ahead and put a tank on here. Now it'll show the voltage, shows the seconds, and then there is a little puff counter. Your ohm load, 0.21 ohms. 3 clicks on the mode button gets you into the menu. You got exit, you got variable wattage hard, variable wattage normal, variable wattage soft, custom curve wattage, which we've seen on this board before. It's done very, very well. Then you have that super player mode. All this it really is for very, very low ohm coils. It'll fire down to 0.03. I wouldn't suggest anyone doing that anyway on this mod or anything else. Why is that necessary, honestly, except for with temp control, but that's already covered in the temp control settings. So I don't really get why they added that in there. I think it's kind of a gimmick and it's not something that I'll ever use. Now, variable voltage, you can put it in a variable voltage mode if you would like, and that will go all the way up to 9 volts. Then it round robins, which is odd because it doesn't round robin in wattage mode. I'll show you guys that in a second. Custom curves for the variable voltage mode, stainless steel mode, nickel mode, titanium mode, M1, M2. Now with these, you can adjust your TCR, adjust your power, lock and unlock the resistance, and then this bypass mode, which I've tested this out a few times and it always fires 4 volts, so not really a true bypass mode. And then into your settings. Before we go into those, let's go into a normal TC mode like stainless steel. And you could still set your TCR in that as well. And then your power, your wattage, and then a curve if you'd like, and then lock and unlock the resistance. And there's what it looks like in TC mode. Now, when in TC mode, if you want to adjust your settings that you'd already set, you want to adjust the wattage or the curve or whatever, you can just press the left and right. It's a shortcut to do all that. Okay, let's go into the settings here. You got time set. That is to set the time on your home screen if you'd like. And you could change the clock styles. You can also adjust your screen brightness. We're already at the brightest. You got your puff counter you can reset. The theme color, so you can switch between orange, green, blue, yellow, and red. I'm gonna go red with this one now. The smart on and off, basically this just, when you put a new tank on, it will guess the wattage. We've seen Vaporesso do this on past mods. So, if you put on a 0.5 ohm, it might set it started out at 40 watts, and then you can fine tune it from there. I never really used that. Let's go back here, so keep it off. Now the automatic mode. This is basically supposed to adjust like your preheat and boost automatically depending on what ADDI you have on it, okay? I don't like it. I found that it does some weird things for me with the armor, and I didn't fully understand it when I reviewed the armor, and so I didn't talk about it much, but I personally am not a fan, so I'm gonna keep it off. Screen timeout. This is basically for the screensaver, the clock, at what point will it turn off. And then you have version and then default. So let's go back, and I'm gonna go back in a variable wattage normal. And so let's see how fast that scrolls. Pretty damn quick. All the way up to 220 watts, but in wattage mode, it does not round robin. If you hold the left and right buttons in wattage mode, it's a shortcut to get into custom curves. So I'm not exactly sure why they did that. Personally, I can just dive into the menu, because now I'm in custom curves, and if I want to go back, I got to go into the menu to do to go into variable wattage normal. Now, if you want to lock this instead of turn it off, it's 3 clicks instead of 5 on the fire button. And now there's that little lock up there. You can still fire it, but you can't adjust settings. Okay, so there's a look at it in my hand. It's very, very comfortable. I think that it competes well with the mod like the Proton. It's a little bit larger than the Proton, bit taller. Probably about the same thickness. But it seems like as far as inexpensive mods go that have a lot of bells and whistles, these two are up there, at least in the top 5, I think. And they're both really, really well-made mods. As you can see, I've used the shit out of this one. And another mod that this kind of competes with is the XPriv, although this has more features. And as far as firing, I tend to thumb fire this one a lot. If you press towards the bottom of the button, it doesn't work as well. It's more middle and up. You can also hold it like this. And I really dig that back panel as well. All right, so let's go ahead, go up top, vape this, and I will give you my final thoughts. All right, here is the Polar kit. I got the Baby SE on top with the mesh coil. It's reading 0.18. I have it at 70 watts. Airflow is wide open. Let's vape it.